Hello and welcome to Midweek News, episode 83 for July 3rd, 2024. Let's get started. Anthropic Claude 3.5. Anthropic is trying to set itself apart by being a, quote, responsible AI firm, unquote. Claude 3.5 Sonnet is offered for free on Claude.ai and the iOS app. Has anyone tried Claude yet? I'm interested to see how it stacks up to ChatGPT or running GPT for all locally. OpenShot 3.2 video editor. Highlights include support for Blender 4.1 and improved Blender animations, support for the latest FFmpeg 7.0, experimental support for Java bindings, a new remove gap feature to remove unwanted gaps between clips, effect sequencing before or after keyframes are applied, and new themes, retro and cosmic dust. Available now from OpenShot.org for Linux, macOS, Windows, and Chrome OS. KDE Plasma 6.1.1 desktop environment released with bug fixes. Released only 1 week after the 6.1 release to fix several bugs, support for X-Wayland apps has been improved. You can check out the full changelog at kde.org. Minisforum UM890 Pro with Ryzen 9 8945HS starts at $479 US. I've got to hand it to these mini PC manufacturers. They just keep packing more and more power into a small package. The UM890 Pro supports up to 96 gigs of DDR5 RAM and up to 2 PCIe 4.0 NVMe SSDs. Networking is handled by two 2.5 gig Ethernet ports. I/O is rounded out with two USB 4 ports up to 40 gigabit and a 63 gigabit Oculink connector. Shipping is expected by the end of July. System 76 share Cosmic DE branding and alpha release date. Alongside the unveiling of the new branding, System 76 has announced that a Cosmic Freedom sale will run through July 9th with $30 to $200 savings on their list prices. The Cosmic desktop is still slated to have an alpha by late July. HORI has announced a special gamepad for Steam and Steam Deck. HORI is a game controller manufacturer that has been around since the 1980s, and it's now getting on the Steam bandwagon. HORI controllers have long been highly rated among gamers, and I would expect no less in this new offering. So far, the controller has only been announced via their Japanese store, with no mention of US or UK sales. Pricing is listed as 9,780 yen, which translates to approximately 50 Great Britain pounds or $60 US. Distro forks, clones, and flavors, understanding Linux terminology. This is a great article and something I wish would have existed when I started with Linux more than 25 years ago. If you're new to Linux or just want a little bit of a sanity check on the terminology, this is the article for you. And hey, look at this. There's a new Linux course out. For those who may not follow the channel outside Midweek News, yes, there are a few of you. Over the weekend, I launched my first course, which goes into detail on some of the common commands used from the Linux terminal. Just for good measure, there are quite a few of these that can also be used on macOS. Through July 5th, I am running a 25% off sale using coupon code EARLYBIRD in all caps. If you're not quite ready to buy, you may instead want to become a channel member, which may just get you a discount at some future date. Wink, wink. Block coding is a great way to get introduced to programming without having to deep dive into the code. This particular approach to block coding uses the Godot game engine, which is open source and cross-platform. This might just be the weekend project you didn't know you needed for your kids or grandkids. Milk 5 is a mini ITX board with SpacemiT K1 M1 RISC-V processor. I find the RISC-V platforms to be rather interesting and unique. Putting it in a mini ITX form factor and being able to use standard power supplies make this board even more compelling. This board and processor are not going to win on raw speed compared to Intel, AMD, or even ARM in some cases, but it is compelling if you're looking for a RISC-V development board. Pricing and availability have not yet been announced, but keep an eye on lilliputing.com for more information if or when it becomes available. AOOSTAR WTR Pro 4-bay NAS with Intel N100 processor and 2.5 gig Ethernet. If you want to roll your own NAS box but want something compact like a Synology instead of a typical PC case, you may want to take a look at this. Pre-ordering is open now, with prices starting at $279 for a bare-bones model with no memory, storage, or operating system. A model with 16 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs storage is available for $359, and a 32 gig 1 terabyte model for $429. Models shipped with storage will come pre-installed with Windows 11 Pro. Debian 12.6 Bookworm released. This release fixes 162 bugs and has 84 security updates. Available now for 32-bit and 64-bit Intel and AMD systems, PowerPC 64-bit, IBM System Z, MIPS 64 and 32-bit, MITS ARML, ARM HF, and ARM64 hardware architectures. And that, my loyal viewers, will bring us to the end of another episode of Midweek News. There will not be a live stream tonight on July 3rd, as I will be doing some traveling for the holiday. I am hoping to be live again Sunday the 7th. Stay safe, and I'll see you soon.